Hey everybody, this is Diging64 and welcome to my review for the new Crystal Gems. This will be the first Steven Universe review that I've done, and hope it goes well. So yeah, the new Crystal Gems, Ed, and overall, I enjoyed it. Yeah, there was a bit of disappointment in there for me personally, but overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good episode, and we'll get into why, because, oh boy. So basically the episode starts off with Steven and Greg and the other gems returning from space after the last arc, and basically meeting up with Connie, who tells them what's been going on while they've been away. So then we get flashback to basically what was happening during Adventures in Light Distortion when Steven called Connie, and then basically Connie couldn't make it because Steven wanted to go right away. Obviously he was worried about his dad, so Connie heads over to Steven's house where she finds Peridot and Lapis, with Peridot in the toilet trying to flush herself, I suppose. Or just showing how she slept, I guess. I don't know. And just Lapis watching, I guess. Obviously they're not too happy to see Connie because they never really interacted with her before, they don't really know her too well and they want her to go. But eventually they start to realize, hey, we can do this together. We can be the new Crystal Gems because they've all given us the chance to protect Beach City, this mission to protect Beach City, and we can be the new Crystal Gems. So the best thing in the entire history of this show happened where Connie, basically they all take the roles of the Crystal Gems and Connie becomes Steven, which I think works, but unlike the others it actually works, with Peridot being Garnet of all gems, wow, Lapis becoming Amethyst, and the Pumpkin Dog becoming Pearl. How convenient that the lowest of the new Crystal Gems would become the lowest of the original Crystal Gems. I'm not here to say that that Pearl is the worst of the Crystal Gems, but I don't know. Pearls are pretty low on Homeworld in the first place, so are very low in Homeworld in the first place, so it's kind of a nice mirror to that. So basically Connie, Peridot, Lapis, and the Pumpkin Dog end up watching over Beach City, seeing some pretty interesting things such as Sadie and Lars and Ronaldo doing some stuff which could or could not come into play in Rocknaldo. I don't know, we're seeing him in a couple weeks, so that's fine. Connie is obviously wearing Steven's shirt and possibly his jeans. I highly doubt that's actually his jeans, I think it's just his. With Peridot wearing sunglasses to match Garnet's visor, which I thought was hilarious personally. And Lapis just has really edgy hair and does a pretty good Amethyst impression, to be perfectly honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same voice actor. I don't think it is though, so that's just me, but it was a pretty damn good impression if that's not the case. Obviously, Peridot thinks she's the best Garnet, which personally obviously isn't true. Garnet is best Garnet, but nice attempt, Peridot. Basically, they head down to the car wash after hearing someone yell, and apparently they just need to wash a car. How convenient. Peridot raises the car into the air using her metal powers, while Lapis washes it using her water powers, which makes a lot of sense, How convenient that it would just come into use then. And basically Connie and the Pumpkin Dog dry it off using some giant towel that they have for some reason. I have no idea where they got that from. Basically everything's going well for them at this point, and it looks like everything is coming together. But the next day they go back to the car wash and there's like a million other people there waiting for them to wash their cars, so Peridot goes a bit insane, acting overly cringy, and I think this is, to me anyway, this was the part of the episode that really got good for me. I loved this part of the episode. Basically, it was part cringe, part hilarious at the same time. There was a bit of mix of both worlds, and it was a bit balanced out for that. But it was so cringy with all the Garnet stuff going on. I loved it. So basically, Peridot tries to act like Garnet overly much, and it ends up with Lapis also trying to be Garnet with the British accent as well, so Lapis kind of wins on that front because that was great. Basically, Connie tries to break it up by giving some motivational speech like Steven would normally do, and just overall it doesn't go so well. She can't really do the motivational speech, at least for now she can't. So basically they head home. Peridot tells everyone else it's their fault. Apparently it's not her fault. They start arguing, her and Lapis. Honestly, I was hoping that one of them would poof each other from fighting, just because everyone, me included, was kind of hoping this would be the episode where they get their stars, and that'd be pretty cool, and that wasn't the case at all, which was one of the disappointments of the episode, but personally, I can forgive that. I think my main disappointment with this episode came from the fact that there wasn't any kind of threat, and with an episode that focused on Connie, Peridot and Lapis protecting Beach City, really, this is not what I don't think anyone had in mind. I think there was supposed to be some kind of threat, and that would have made it at least better. But honestly, this isn't the direction I hoped it would go, and it's just kind of a shame to see this being the case. But basically they argue, and then Connie comes out with this great motivational speech that is a lot like the sort of thing that Steven would do, but overall it works, you know. It's a very good sort of lesson to take to heart, that you shouldn't try to be like other people, you should just be yourself. And honestly, I feel like this episode really went all out with that lesson and did it really well, actually, in a nice comedic way, but at the same time a really nice way by Connie, so that was a really great speech. But basically they come together, and the sign's being destroyed basically from one of the cars that happened earlier due to Peridot and Lapis's antics. And basically they come out with a new sign that looks really cool. It looks like some kind of futuristic Bender type / Greg sort of fusion, I don't know, but overall it looks like a really cool sign. We'll see that in the show a bit later on, I guess, on the car wash, but that'd be really cool to see. And basically the episode ends out with a really cool pose by all of them as the Crystal Temps, so I suppose we'll be seeing this again whenever the main Crystal Gems are out of the picture, whenever they're doing something big with like Homeworld or that. We'll probably get episodes that'll focus on the Crystal Temps, and we'll get Peridot, Lapis and Connie doing their own little thing at Beach City. Hopefully we'll get some big fight happening. I really hope something more interesting happens with these characters. But overall, that was the new Crystal Gems, and my overall thoughts on this episode were, it was really good. Around the middle it did start to get a bit cringy, but overall, I can totally forgive that, and I can totally forgive the fact that they didn't get their stars in this episode, like they didn't poof and reform. But the fact that there wasn't much of a threat was kind of a shame, to be honest. The threat was themselves, and having to learn this lesson of don't try to be someone else, try to be yourself. That's great and all, but some kind of threat would have been nice. Cartoon Network, you know, Rebecca Sugar, maybe. But yeah, I did enjoy the episode, and I liked how this episode developed a relationship between Connie, Peridot, and Lapis, and we'll see that more in the future, now that they've actually interacted. It's kind of something that I hope for Ronaldo in a couple of episodes, where Ronaldo will get to interact with Peridot and Lapis, and they are getting a lot more interactivity in these more recent episodes of Peridot and Lapis, so that's really cool in my opinion. I really appreciated this episode for that, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know where they're going to take it in the future. They could totally do episodes with these three, I would love that. You know, it seems to me like Ronaldo is going in that direction, where we'll get Peridot and Lapis meeting up with him. I don't know, but that'd be really cool. Overall, it would just be nice to have episodes that doesn't feature Steven so much, because I think every episode to now has had Steven in some way. Even this one did, but I would just prefer an episode that mostly focused not on Steven. Also, I do want to bring special attention to that one scene in the episode that focused on the theme tune with the Crystal Temps, which that was awesome. That was really cool, and one of the things I did hope for this episode was that they would change the theme song in some way to, you know, accompany Connie, Peridot, and Lapis. And I know that would have taken more time to do, and I understand that. But honestly, you know, it would have made it a lot better, and I feel like, you know, quality over quantity and that sort of thing, but that's just me. But overall, that's it. That's all I have to say. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.